some of these storms that we see going into this evening are going to be, well, they're just not going to be nice. They are going to be vicious storms with strong winds, a tornado threat, potentially some large hail. In all honesty, when we look at the severe weather ingredients that we have available for this, it's about as high as we see. So it rivals some of the other big events we've had, like the Good Friday tornado, like Edwardsville and Defiance. So again, take this threat seriously. It's through about midnight. Make sure your devices are charged. Make sure you have that way to get weather information and that you're quick to respond when you get those warnings. When it comes to the threats, the winds 80 to 90 miles per hour out of the strongest.
You might be in it.
Spring has returned once again, painting the landscape with vibrant colors and shades of gray. It's a new beginning as a storm chaser's favorite season returns. Thursday, March 13th, I made my way towards Missouri. A powerful, negatively tilted trough was making its way into the region, bringing a chance for strong, long-track tornadoes and damaging winds as high as 90 miles per hour.
Continue on I-70 West for 144 miles.
March 14th started off with what is considered an ominous sign, a blood moon, a total lunar eclipse. I stopped in Vandalia for the night to get these shots and then get some sleep.
Alright, it is March 14th at 1:50 a.m. I'm in Vandalia at the Holiday Inn. Just out here recording the blood moon. Got my office ready to roll. Knock some work out real quick tomorrow and then we go chase.
Yeah, don't go through St. Louis during rush hour. I headed towards Rolla, Missouri, as I wanted to give myself a middle ground between better terrain and better parameters. I stopped in Rolla for gas and then decided to head towards southeast Missouri, as mesoscale analysis showed a very favorable environment. Long track supercells were quickly approaching, and one cell had my attention off to my west. The strengthening supercell would unfortunately produce a tornado just southwest of Rolla. The tornado would track through southern portions of the city, doing EF2 damage, not far from where I'd gotten gas just about an hour before. I continued south to stay out ahead of storms when another cell caught my attention just outside of Salem, Missouri. Thankfully, this cell didn't end up producing a tornado. The trailing broken line of supercells gave me an opportunity to pick off storms as I headed southeast. If I wanted to keep pace with storms while making it to Route 60, I was going to have to cut through Mark Twain National Forest, a 2-hour trek.
South, we do have a significant tornado that is still in progress. I think this has been on the ground for well over an hour now. Just south of Winona, moving towards Vandenberg. We still have it.
I then entered the core of this tornado-producing supercell, which had already been on the ground for over 50 miles. I then lost cell service and was having issues with my automatic high beams. I expected the tornado to pass well to my south, but instead it took a sudden turn north and followed this river valley right towards my location. With cell service being spotty, I was pretty much navigating this supercell by wind direction. Suddenly, wind shifted and did a complete 180. While playing with my headlights, I had lost situational awareness. I was now on the outer edge of the tornado.
We might be in it.
I stopped and weighed my options, but there weren't many. I could make a quick U-turn, but then I would be traveling north alongside the tornado. Worst case scenario, I could bail into the ditch, but then I could be crushed by a massive pine tree. Or I could stay put and hope it passes quickly, considering storms were moving at 60 miles an hour. You know the scene in Jurassic Park where the T-Rex gets loose and nobody knows where it's at? Yeah, this kind of had that same feeling. With winds back out of the west, I slowly continued south.
Oh, I didn't bring my saw.
Thankfully, the tornado had weakened to EF1 strength, as it had peak winds of 165 miles per hour at one point. 2 more long-track EF3s would touch down, one to my east and one to my south. As I approached the EF3 to my south, I decided I'm not going to play chicken with this tornado. I stopped and watched the tornado pass just a few miles to my east.
Turn right onto Missouri 21 South, Missouri 34 West.
This tornado would continue into Leeper, Missouri, where unfortunately 2 people would die after their camper was tossed into the Black River. Several homes were almost completely destroyed as well. The Leeper EF3 would remain on the ground for over 31 miles, with max winds of 165 miles per hour and a max width of 325 yards. I was now eyeing another cell to my south, one that had produced an EF4 tornado that was on the ground for 93 miles.
Turn left onto US 60 East.
We have another particularly dangerous situation for Butler and Ripley counties in Missouri. So they have made this tornado warning go further north. It's going to include Poplar, Bluff, and east of
The supercells cycled and produced another EF3 tornado.
The tornado, it's located right now near Route 160, and it's moving right towards Poplar Bluff.
I could see the rotating rain curtains as the 350-yard wide tornado passed just a mile to my south. I moved a little further north towards my escape route, and then I observed power flashes off in the distance.
We have a high risk of severe weather in place in the southeast.
Your route may be affected by tornado warning.
I headed back to Route 60 to see if I could keep up with the tornado as it headed northeast.
I'm not seeing as strong a rotation anymore near Poplar Bluff in southeastern Missouri. It is still a particularly dangerous situation. Actually, let's go.
My camera then picked up the roar of the tornado off in the distance.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto the US 60 East ramp to Sikeston.
I continued east on Route 60, carefully approaching the backside of the tornado.
Which is possibly producing a tornado as well. We have yet again another PDS tornado warning. We've got to go back to radar. We have another particularly dangerous situation.
Frequent lightning illuminated the monster just ahead of me.
In Green counties in Arkansas.
The Poplar Bluff EF3 would unfortunately claim 1 person's life and injure 3 others. It also had estimated max wind speeds of 145 miles per hour.
This is like legitimately insane. We're at 16 tornado warnings yet again. I'm gonna go back to
I had already documented 4 tornadic supercells for the night, and Mother Nature wasn't even close to done, as I was about to document 4 more.
Corey is currently on the page 1 tornado, North zone.
I continued east on Route 60 toward Sikeston.
This is a now PDS tornado.
Strong tornadoes on the ground. Seek shelter.
That looks like a big tornado there in the background. I think they're looking at it.
The Poplar Bluff EF3 would cycle and produce another EF1 tornado. Then another separate EF1 tornado touched down just a few miles to my north. I then captured this developing EF2 well off to my north. Two more robust supercells approached from the southwest, and I was about to find out firsthand that Mother Nature wasn't done for the night. I made it into Sikeston just before 1:30 a.m. I stopped at Love's to get gas, chatted with a few chasers, and then I was going to grab a room at the Marriott just down the road, but it's a good thing that I didn't, as you'll see why. Before I headed to the hotel, I wanted to keep an eye on this approaching supercell and get some shots of lightning. The lightning was so frequent it looked like a strobe light at times. I've gotten some of my best shots of lightning while in the state of Missouri. A weak area of rotation then became visible on radar on the supercell I was eyeing, so I headed down the street to get a better view of the west. An EF1 tornado would then touch down just 3 miles west of my location. I then observed power flashes just off to my west. I could see the developing wall cloud as the rear flank of the storm approached. I then noticed the rotating rain curtains over the distant community.
Your route may be affected by tornado warning.
I could see the rotating shaft of rain moving northeast of my location. Winds remained out of the west as I was smacked by RFB. Then all of a sudden,
Power's down.
the EF1 tornado continued just north of me, doing damage to various homes and businesses, including doing extensive damage to a nursing home roof.
In 100 feet, turn right onto Larkville Drive. Turn right onto Larkville Drive.
Jesus Christ!
Powerful cloud-to-ground lightning showed the storm's strength. Power flashes were visible off in the distance as the tornado continued northeast through Sikeston.
Probably had over 50 tornadoes, I would have to guess. There have been so many.
I continued north into Sikeston and towards the tornado's path.
The PDS tornado warning here in southern Illinois, the rotation's been a little bit broader over the last few minutes. See?
Here it did damage to a Lowe's and a nursing home, but thankfully nobody was injured.
Unfortunately, these storms are just going to continue even into the overnight hours here. I mean, we're already nearing 2 a.m. Very late into the evening, if you will, or even into the early overnight, and we still have plenty of tornado
I
warnings
drove
out
into
there.
the night, mentally, emotionally, and physically drained, looking for a place to sleep. There were no vacancies at the local hotels as people sought refuge from the
So
storms.
there is another report coming out of Poplar, Bluff from earlier, the tornado damage. The trailer park and the footage that was posted on
A total of 19 tornadoes moved through Missouri on the evening of March 14th into the early morning hours of March 15th. Of those 19, I ended up documenting 8 of them. Between March 13th and 16th, there was 116 confirmed tornadoes, unfortunately leading to 43 lives lost. I hope all those affected can soon find some peace. And remember to make sure you have a plan for when severe weather comes to your neighborhood.